Great afternoon, everyone, and welcome to this session of Lunch and Learn with OTrain. So I hope you've had a great 2 weeks since our last session with Mandy Can on HR. The topic this week is a very current topic and very popular topic, which was why we've had quite a few registrations today. So today we're talking all about LinkedIn. How many connections do you have LinkedIn? The fact is that it doesn't really matter whether you've got 500 or 5,000, the result is the same if you don't actually have a strategy behind it. So we've invited John Bellamy, LinkedIn expert, to join us today to talk about his experience with LinkedIn, and he's open to any questions that you've got. So talking about questions, in the bottom right-hand corner of the page you're watching this on, there is a question and answer section. So just so you get used to it, if you could just type in your name there so that we know that you're watching live. And if you do have any questions throughout the session, then type them in, and when it's appropriate, I will interrupt John and get him to answer your question for you. So Lunch and Learn is hosted by OTrain, and we've got Shane joining us from OTrain today. Good afternoon, Shane. How are you?
G'day, Emma, and everybody listening in. I'm well, thank you.
That's good. Shane, do you have an update from OTrain for us this week?
Oh, an OTrain update. Fantastic. Look, we're having a great couple of weeks. We've rolled out a new version 2 of our software, which is getting rave feedbacks and reviews. And if anybody was looking to put their training online, wants to have a look at a great new system to do that, very intuitive, very clean, very modern, give me a call. I'll be happy to run you through and show you some of the features.
Excellent. And Shane, you use LinkedIn a lot. I mean, you sent out a whole heap of invitations to this event via LinkedIn. What's your experience with LinkedIn? And you've heard John speak. Why are you excited to have him on today?
So I'm really excited. I met John about 6 or 7 months ago at a conference in Toowoomba where he was presenting on this topic, and I've been an avid user of LinkedIn for some time, but without a real strategy around what I'm using it for. So I've been connecting with people, and every time I get an invite, connecting, and managed to amass quite a number of people in my list, but no idea what the how to utilize that list or monetize that list, or even just use those networks to get some benefit or value out of it. Not necessarily financial or business value, but some of my contacts are personal contacts, or can help personally with challenges. So I was really excited by working with John. And just looking at some of the opportunities around how you can actually turn this into, or turn your list into, or realise value out of that list, and really excited to be sharing John's story and some of his tips with everybody today here on the OTrain Lunch and Learn.
Excellent. Well, it's about time that we introduce our very special guest speaker today. Welcome, John Bellamy, to our Lunch and Learn series. How are you this afternoon?
I am fantastic today. Thanks for having me on board, Shane and Emma. I'm really excited to offer some massive value to everybody who's listening out there. And yeah, so let's kick it off. Hit me up with all your questions and all those types of things. What would you like to know?
Excellent. Well, first of all, we have a big hello from Shani, from Stephen, and from Bill. Hi, everyone. Thanks for joining us today. But first of all, John, before we get started into the questions, and there's already a couple coming through before we even start, so that's always a good sign. John, tell us a little bit about yourself and your background and why you're so passionate about LinkedIn.
Okay, so I've a bit about me, just a normal guy. My background, if you like, has been in across segments from advertising, recruitment, direct sales markets. I suppose I was lucky enough that early on in my career, I really saw the value of building solid networks of people and building connections and really leveraging the opportunities and the skills and knowledge that you build within those networks. And so when LinkedIn came out, I was probably like most people that were like, okay, what's this little fandangled little device online, and how's it going to help me? And after probably about 2 years of really not utilising it, I sort of gave myself a virtual uppercut and went, well, hold on, there's this huge opportunity here that I'm missing out on. And since then, I've really worked on when I meet with anybody and everybody out there, I want to bring them into my network, into my LinkedIn community, and I use LinkedIn really as an opportunity to connect, communicate, and engage with those particular audiences out there.
Okay, so why LinkedIn? There's so many platforms today to choose from. What are your thoughts around why choosing LinkedIn?
Yeah. So for me, like, let's be clear, LinkedIn is not social media. So I want to, this is my opinion, I don't believe it's social media. It's an online business community. Yeah. It's essentially, let's say, it's a souped up Excel spreadsheet, and a fantastic one at that. The power that LinkedIn has is that if your target audience is in the business to business market, you really want to be focusing on, I suppose, connecting with those individuals. So if you're in the professional services space, your target audiences are on LinkedIn. You just got to go and look at all the stats on LinkedIn. The average salary of somebody on LinkedIn is a lot higher than somebody on Facebook. So they've got a higher disposable income. They're going to LinkedIn to actually connect, to communicate, to engage with people who share common values, to share, common knowledges or common challenges in their areas of expertise. But on the flip side of that as well, if you're in the business to consumer space, or if you're more of a retail focused, or I use the example of a travel agent, LinkedIn can be quite a vital tool for you as well. The big myth that LinkedIn is purely for recruiters is ridiculous. It's terrible to think that, and people are just on LinkedIn to get a job. It's completely the wrong mindset and approach that you're thinking of a LinkedIn point of view for.
I wasn't even aware that was a common misconception about it, John. So that's really interesting that people think it's just to get a job. It's not just to get a job. It's a great. I myself use it as a prospecting tool. Would you? Yeah. Is that a good word to sort of label it?
Yeah, I mean, like, it's at the end of the day, we're all in business, and the only way that we're going to generate business is by developing lead funnels. And LinkedIn is one of those fantastic opportunities out there right now that you can go and connect with people and start building quality lead funnels that are super targeted towards the niche space that you want to operate in. So that's exactly how I use LinkedIn. That's how I show people how to use LinkedIn, and really it comes down to positioning your expertise within a particular field, leveraging that network, and then eventually how do we actually monetize that? Because if we don't have that view of how do we get them off LinkedIn into our database and then monetize in some way, shape, or form, what's the point?
Yeah.
I don't know how long you spend on LinkedIn, Emma, but even if it's only 30 minutes a day, I'm sure you would rather be, I don't know, doing something else than sitting on LinkedIn for 30 minutes a day if you're not actually driving traffic off LinkedIn into some opportunity or some funnel that you're able to monetize.
So basically, you really need a strategy behind your commitment to LinkedIn. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, like anything, without the correct strategy in place, if you don't know why you're on there, what's the point? Sit at the beach. It's so much easier and more enjoyable. So I find if we take like a typical website as an example, most websites are a vanity site. They give people too many options. They give, it's all about me. Look how great I am. Blah 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 blah. And they don't offer any value. And LinkedIn essentially is one of those platforms that enables you to once again position your expertise, and essentially, in a way, you're turning into a politician. You need to be on message. So your message needs to be clear, concise, and focused about this is how I help people, and this is the value that I'm going to give you that's going to actually help you. Oh, and by the way, in exchange for giving you this value, I'd like to have permission to market to you, and then bring them into your funnel from that way. And that might be through platforms like this, doing Google Hangouts, webinars, driving to opt-in pages, consults, whatever it might be from that aspect. But we need to use it as a marketing platform.